how you run the dyno.
How many of you guys have actually ran on a dyno? Because running on a dyno in front of people can be very
Super intimidating.
intimidating. Yep.
It's like you get up there, and I'll tell you what, I've done it tons and tons of times. Get up there in front of a crowd of people, and you're like, do I remember where my shifter is? Do I have brakes? I don't know, I'm so confused. Like, everything seems more scary than it should be. We do dyno events, that's why I have this mobile dyno trailer. So what I would like to do tonight is walk you guys through kind of my mental checklist when I'm getting ready for the dyno, what to expect, what your dyno operator is gonna ask, just so you know if you go to a dyno event, kind of what to expect. First thing about running the dyno is you don't lie about what you got. It's very important.
Homer, I'm not sure what class this is in. It's got a Fleece Cheetah turbo. So is that small turbo? Okay. I didn't want to like lie and like, I was like, I don't know, is it stock?
So if you know you don't have a fancy setup and you know you're not gonna make 600 horsepower, don't tell the dyno operator you're gonna make 600 horsepower, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna set up the dyno to give you too much load and you're not gonna have a good experience.
What is load? That's a great question.
Whoa, oh my God, thank you so much for that question. That's great. All right, so we have what's called an eddy brake on this dyno. An eddy brake is a fancy way of saying an electronic brake. It doesn't touch the rollers. It's an electronic interference that makes the rollers slow down. So what this does is it loads the motor almost as if you're on the road. So it'll make your turbos like... So if you don't have any load on a motor, especially on a Cummins, the turbos won't start spooling up. So load is basically resistance to the spinning of the tires. This eddy brake controller on this dyno, one of the strongest you can get. It's a thin strap. It'll slow down the rollers so that the truck has to work harder to spin them. That will in turn light the turbochargers so you get an accurate reading of what horsepower is on the road, not just on the dyno. So it's very important that you're honest with your dyno operator. The next thing is, let them know if this is your first experience, because they will help you out. They're gonna give you guidance, okay? I'm gonna give you guidance, they're gonna give you guidance. So what you wanna do is be as transparent as possible about your setup, and they're gonna set the load appropriately for your vehicle. This is like diesel stuff, gas stuff, doesn't matter, it's all the same. Once you start going, you're gonna have a set point. They're gonna tell you, depending on the dyno, that might be 2,000 RPMs, 3,000 RPMs. They have to calibrate the dyno to your gear ratio. They don't know your gear ratio. You probably don't know your gear ratio. They might also ask, what do you expect your turbos to light at? So let's say your turbos, like you're on the street, you drive your truck all the time. You know your turbos light at 2,000 RPMs. You want to tell them that it's 2,000 RPMs because they'll set the load to come on at the right time for your turbos. So what they'll do is be like, hey, at 2,000 RPMs, tell me, and we'll start the run. This is to calibrate the dyno to allow them to understand what your RPM is at a certain mile an hour. Then you're gonna accelerate through the run. The rollers will register mile an hour, and then that can interpolate to RPM. They're gonna tell you to set your RPM, so you're gonna basically wait at that RPM. They're gonna give you a signal, and they're gonna run through your run. So we're gonna simulate that right now. So I'm gonna run through this truck on a normal run. We're gonna do a 2,000 RPM start. I told my dyno operator, which is me, what I expect for horsepower, which I hope is 600-ish. So these ones typically like around 2,000, so I'm gonna say 2,000 RPMs. We're gonna actually run you through a dyno. So this little handheld I'm holding is the thing that controls my dyno. So I just released the brake. So now I can run the truck up to an RPM. And then this is like your dyno operator. They're gonna have the same exact thing. So they're gonna tell you a start RPM. Our start RPM is 2,000. You can watch it here. So we're gonna go up to 2,000. We're gonna do fourth gear overdrive. So that's our max gear overdrive. That's gonna be your best horsepower number, okay? And then once I get to that RPM, I'm gonna hit go, and that go basically tells the software in my dyno that we're starting the run at 2,000 RPM, so then it knows that the truck is done. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started now that we're actually in drive. That's neutral. All right, so you can hear it loading. See my gears? Fourth overdrive. We want fourth overdrive at about 2,000 RPMs. There, pretty close. Not a high horsepower run, I'm sorry. Once you hit your RPM target, you're gonna stop your run. So a lot of times you'll see the dyno operator give you a signal, kind of like a cutoff signal. That cutoff signal is because they're watching the graph. And once the graph rolls over, you're not gonna make more horsepower. So they're gonna like save you from yourself. So they'll cut you off. So watch for that. And then they're gonna stop. What you wanna do is you wanna just stay in drive. They're gonna put the dyno brake on. That's me hitting the stop button. So that stops the dyno itself, okay? They're gonna slow you down. Don't hit the brakes at all. The little brake on the dyno is gonna take care of everything you need to do. So once you're done with the run, just let out the gas. Do not touch your shifter, just let it go. Once you're stopped, you're gonna go into neutral and just let the truck idle. The dyno operator will tell you the next steps. Most of the time it's gonna be put on the brake. They'll tell you your number.
Get him, boy!
Let them unstrap you, you'll drive up the dyno. A lot of times you'll run the dyno at least 2 times, sometimes 3 times, depends on the operator. So one of the things I do, guys, is once I'm done with the run, I don't have oil temp on this one. If I had oil temp, I'd watch oil temp, but I'll let it idle for a while before I shut it off, because the worst thing you can do for an engine that's just been like just hammered is shut it off right away. It will not cool properly. It'll cake the turbo. So I like to let it run for a few minutes, then I'll shut her down if the temperatures are appropriate. So you can see my coolant temps are already down. Oil pressure is still very good. We're a very happy engine right now. I'm gonna give it a little bit. It'll run oil through the turbo, cool the turbo down, then we can shut her off. And then we can give her a second, and then we can maybe do one more.
All right, let's go.
The number starts with a 7. That's cool. That's kind of cool. Let's go.